like your take on boobies. And I like boobies.
Gun, higher.
I am the high.
Don't
Test
higher.
gun. I am the higher gun.
Don't
Test me.
I am the
I am the higher gun who bout to set it off. Watch me leap from the top with the coup de grace. It's scary hours for you and all of y'all. How you want a submission to pinfall? I am the higher gun who bout to set it off. Watch me leap from the top with the coup de grace. It's scary hours for you and all of y'all.
And welcome to the TurnBuckle Talk podcast with your host, the Higher Gun. First, like, subscribe, share. How y'all doing, y'all? So, I'm gonna talk about Saudi. Like, WWE going to Saudi. They're there. There's video of Triple H getting there. So they went in a private jet. So they're there. Seen Triple H and I seen CM Punk. Now, let me get into the CM Punk situation. Now, I'm a CM Punk fan. I'm not no diehard fan like other people are, but I'm a fans fan. You know, and you know, I would want him to win Saturday, but that's not the case here. It's not what I'm talking about. But he's there, and there's two videos of him. Two videos and a picture. One picture, he's taking a picture with a fan. When he first got there, there's a video of him walking with Randy Orton, and a little a kid comes runs up to him and he didn't shove him, but CM Punk moves him out the way, you know. And you got some people who mad about that. Alright? And say, oh, he doesn't get it, he doesn't have a kid, he doesn't get it. No, that's not the case here. Listen. Punk don't want to be there. He don't. A lot of wrestlers don't want to be there. They don't. But they're doing it for the money. They're doing it for the commitment. You know? Like, there's boundaries, you know? Like, just the other day, Cena at a fan fest. There was someone literally videotaping him without consent at all, and Cena flipped. And then he walked away. No, not flip. Maybe not say flip, because he didn't yell at him. He just told him, "I believe in consent. I believe in boundaries." And then he walked away. And then he came back. He apologized to the kid. I mean, the person apologized too a couple times, but he apologized. And he told him he give him anything he wanted, as long as he asks for it. All right, but boundaries. All right, and we don't heard plenty of fans from AEW and WWE overstep these boundaries. You know, sending shit to their parents' house and shit like that. How you get that respect? That's sick. Alright, you know, you don't see kids and not kids, people find where these people live at, alright, and try to kill them. Alright, like that happened with Mandy Rose and her homegirl. Alright? And if they didn't see her, I mean, see that dude, they probably wouldn't be here right now, right? Like, tell me I don't remember that shit. Now, am I saying the kid was gonna kill, CM Punk? No, I'm not saying that. But then, hostile territory, lone trips, right? Maybe it just ain't the time. I believe in autograph. I do. But when you got people just running up to you and shit like, no, no. CM Punk did nothing wrong. You got people out there saying, never meet your heroes. Tell that shit to Hot Cody, not CM Punk. Alright? No. Tell that shit to somebody who actually did something fucked up. Not CM Punk. Because he can't win. Alright? He doesn't go over there. Oh, you fucked up for not going. No, that's his job. He goes, oh, you're a hypocrite. Right? Ever since we found out he was going over there, IWC has been calling him a hypocrite, and all he cares about is the money and all that. Whatever on that shit. Alright. So speaking of people not going over there, so I'll be the first one to tell you, when the Dom and AJ Styles match got pulled from the show, I thought it was because of Dom. Well, technically it still is because of Dom. Like, technically it still because of Dom. But when they said he had an injury on TV, that was horseshit. And they played it off like that too. But they said he was hurt. Paperwork was legit and everything. Right? Dom's hurt. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that I thought it's because I thought it was because somebody didn't want to go over there, or both of them didn't want to go over there. But no, Dom's hurt. Like his ribs are messed up. So yeah, Dom's hurt. That's why they put the match. Now speaking of it, so like they didn't give a timetable on when they're gonna have the match, but when he's recovered, they can have the match. That's what they said. Alright, they're gonna have the match. So there's that. Speaking of injuries, two injuries I'm gonna talk about. First, I'm gonna talk about Chad Gable. So they wrote him off Monday. Right? They wrote him off Monday with Penta taking him out. Right? And Chad was working Chad was working double the work. He was working his character in wrestling, and he was doing the Americano in wrestling. Nah, wrestling. I mean, look, double duty is double duty, right? So, like, him wrestling all this time, taking all these bumps, which I'm gonna get into something about that pretty soon too. But like, it takes a toll on you. And Chad Gable's not young. He's not old, but he's not young. So they wrote him off. Then a couple days later, they was talking about he's gonna need surgery. All right, and he's gonna be out for some time. It's his shoulder. Now, whether he hurt that shoulder in the ladder match, which maybe, right? But it looked like he hurt that shoulder wrestling Triple A. looked like he hurt it then. If that's the case, damn. But he hurt. He got eye surgery and oh, excuse me, y'all. He had that surgery in July, so he's gonna be out for a little while. Which sucks because they were just pushing him. You know, you can say they were pushing him when he had the mask on, but he was getting double the TV time. He was the speed champion, so there's that. So, we'll see what happens with it, with this storyline, because they might keep somebody out of that mask to keep that going. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was on Cody Rhodes' podcast yesterday, right? And he brought up the whole neck injury. So when he had the neck, when he announced the neck injury, he never got the surgery, right? And he told us that he didn't get the surgery. He still hasn't gotten the surgery because the specialists and the doctors wanted him to let his spine heal first, right? To see what they're working with, because it was swollen. So he couldn't get surgery if he wanted to, because it was swollen. So he couldn't get the surgery done. So and then while this is happening, Kevin's not feeling any pain or symptoms until he had the symptoms last week for the first time, like in a minute, and so then they just said, okay, it's time to have the surgery. So he's gonna have the surgery in July, and then they'll see when they go have the surgery, they'll see how bad it is, and see if he's ever gonna wrestle again. I hope so. So Kevin Owens is my favorite wrestler. Period. Speaking of Kevin, on the same podcast, he was talking about him and Cody was talking, right? And when they were talking about when they was on the Indies, or when Cody was on the Indies, and how he charged, alright? And Kevin Owens helped him with that and said, don't overcharge, alright? Don't overcharge, like charge with reason. Booking. Book with reason. That's what he was talking about, right? So in this conversation, Kevin Owens mentioned somebody's name, all right? But they bleeped it out a couple times, right? But and it's not like they bleeped out every name they talked about, because they talked about Matt Cardona on there. They talked about Finn. But the Matt Cardona conversation was joking around. It was true what Kevin Owens said about Matt Cardona, but for those who don't know who Matt Cardona is Zack Ryder, right? But so what's true, because Kevin said that for somebody who loves being on the Indies, he sure does talk about wanting to do WWE again all the time, which he does. Him and his wife talk about that shit. So Kevin's not lying. Every time you go online, you see that. So whatever. Alright. So back to the beefing out name. Kevin mentioned somebody's name about how they overpriced when they was booking. Alright? And how they doing now. Now, listen. The only person I know that was overcharging booking was Braun Strowman when he first got released the first time. It's the only person I know. Am I saying every WWE superstar did that? No. Wish someone get into something about that too. No. Not at all. Alright? But then you had certain wrestlers who did. You know, Ron Strowman was one of them, but Ron Strowman was not the one who talked up and said he talking about me. Ryback talked up, like just had to be 4 or 5 hours later. Like it was in the afternoon when Ryback said something saying, "Oh, they might have bleeped out the name, but they was talking about me." Now he didn't say anything bad about Kevin Owens or Cody, you know, but he don't know that. He don't know that. He don't know they talking about him. So who knows? But he didn't talk bad about him. Like he wished him luck, and he wished Kevin Owens a speedy recovery, and that was it. All right. But I just think it's funny how Ryback just came out of nowhere with that. I think he tried to get that shit for clout because he's known for trying to start shit up or stir shit up just to get attention his way. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I'm not sure if Kevin said something on Twitter to Ryback or not. Don't know. So I said I was gonna get into 2 things. One of them, about WWE, ex-WWE wrestlers. So apparently, there's a new rumor or rule, not rule, but apparently, Tony Khan is saying that he's gonna be more picky about hiring ex-WWE stars to the company. All right, because in reality, the goal is still the goal to go to the WWE. The goal is still to make it in the WWE. That's the goal, right? Right? That's always been the goal, right? Right? Like I'm not saying everybody feels that way, because obviously it's not. All right? Yeah, like everybody don't feel that way, but majority of them do. Like I was talking to my wife the other day about this. Oh, last night, because she said that because you make more money than WWE, and that's not true. So that's not true. It's not the money sometimes, because you had a couple wrestlers who went to WWE and said who chose WWE over AEW and said they took less money or a pay cut to go to the E. I come back to the E, right? Right? And then you had some of the indie wrestlers who picked AEW for the money over WWE because it was more money. Not a better situation, just more money. You know, so it's not the money that they picking. You know, Jordan Grace, Jordan Grace, Blake Monroe, who was Mariah May, Mariah May, and Stephanie Verker. All three of them said that they picked the E over AEW because of the money. Because I mean, all three of them said they chose the E, and it was a discount over it. And that's not saying they didn't get paid. That's not saying that. Alright, because they got paid still, but they're saying they took less money to come to the E because it was a dream. It was the goal, right? Right, and then you had the Walking Weapon. What's his name? David Lee. Walking Weapon, David Lee, and there was somebody else, but, who went to AEW because of the fucking money. Cobb went to the E, and it wasn't because of the money. He wanted to work with WWE. He said fuck AEW because he's been there already. All right, like nah, like it, it, it all depends on what you want. Now saying that, Tony Khan said he was gonna be more picky about signing ex WWE stars because another thing, the the ratings didn't. I mean, the hiring WWE ex WWE stars didn't help the ratings. Now, I, sometimes he had to sign ex WWE stars. Sometimes he had to sign Jericho. Sometimes he had to sign Moxley. Sometimes he had to sign Ricochet. Right? Sometimes he had to sign certain people to make the needle move a little or enough. I mean, you can't just sign all the indies and think this is gonna work. Like indie wrestlers and think it's gonna work because that's not true. Like you need some kind of star power to make it work. Now I'm not saying Will Ospreay is not star power. I'm not saying that. But you signed Swerve as WWE guy. Right? You signed the Hurt Syndicate as WWE guys. Alright? Hell, like we wanna no. We wanna appraise not John Moxley, MJF, but technically he was with the E2. He just didn't get started. So I mean he just didn't get where he needed to be to stay there. All right, so it's just easy to say that MJF is a homegrown for AEW, but there's photos of him in WWE. He just didn't make the cut. And eventually, when his contract runs out, he's gonna go. Now, the reason Tony Khan wants to pull back on signing WWE guys is because he feels like, and there's method to this, like because Anderson Black, but he feels like when he signs them, they're not happy there. Rusev, Anderson Black, there's a couple of them more. They're not happy. Now some are, but some are not. They're not happy how they being booked, or how they not on TV and stuff. And then they want to leave. Like they want to leave and go back to the E because of the fact that they was getting booked better. And Anderson Black, and NXT was getting booked better. And Anderson Black is from what I'm hearing, gonna get a push. The same people who said that Damien Priest was gonna get a push, it's the same people who want to give Anderson Black a push. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But Tony Khan feels like he needs to pull that back and work on signing people who want to be there. Not just for a paycheck. Alright? Because you had people like so Neville was like that too. Like he didn't want to get pinned. But he was doing that because he had a title somewhere else, and he just beat somebody who had a long reign, and he didn't want to get pinned by in other companies to look weak. And he said after he dropped the belt, no problem. Now he's hurt now, but he was cool taking the L then, like taking the L certain time. I mean, his record in AEW is sick, like in a good way. It was like 40 something and like 3 or 4. Swerve. Speaking of wins, Swerve got his 100th win on Saturday in AEW, which is cool. It just means that they book him good. It means he wrestles a lot, and he wins a lot. He gets good, you know. So, uh, but besides that, like like I said, Night of Champions is gonna happen. Be over there, taking photos and getting ready for Saturday, Friday and Saturday, I should say. Now, you know, I'm looking for a good show this weekend. Hope it happens. Can't wait. Um, I'm looking forward to Friday. I'm looking forward to Saturday. Um, and we'll go from there. We'll go from there with the show. Let me see something right quick. Let me see if there's something else. Let me see if there's something else I can talk about before I wrap this show up today. Oh. So just been talking about Roman Reigns. So when they talk about him, we gotta talk about him. So it looks like he's gonna be coming back soon. It looks like he's gonna be coming back pretty soon. They also was playing around with his nickname. Kind of see, they saying he pushed the fan. He didn't push the fan. He just moved him out the way. There's a difference. He didn't push the fan. He moved him out the way. Talking about CM Punk. But back to Roman. They're thinking about changing up his nickname from the Tribal Chief to something else. But who knows? Who knows? Somebody called WWE the monster in the room. Who knows? So Beast, the Beast more, the Beast from WWE. I mean from AEW. He's dating Sasha, and since that's been coming out, he has gotten two main event matches. One he won, and last night he lost one. Right, but he's getting booked better since they found out he was dating Sasha, which is cool. Good for him. Good for him. Good for him. So you haven't seen Logan Paul on TV for a little while. That's because he got hurt, but it's not a big injury. But it's his ankle. It got swollen when he when he did the moonsault. He hit his leg, so take him off TV for a little while. Keep him off TV for a little while. You know, somebody to take the mic from Mark Henry sometimes. Because Mark Henry feels like, you know, he's old school. So like some stuff you get, and sometimes you like sometimes when he gets, sometimes when you watch some stuff, he gets old school, like the whole Vince thing that he got backlash for. The wrestlers going over there to Saudi. I don't know what he said, but he backed them. He backed them going. So we'll see. But like you know, like sometimes sometimes you can't ask an old school wrestler. And when I say old school, like Mark Henry, Bubba, Taker, Kane, because they gotta tell you how they feel, and sometimes you're not gonna like what they say, bad or good. Like like JBL, I tell you, I mean JBL will back WWE on a lot of stuff too. Nah, like you got people like Teddy Long who won't. You got people like Booker T who will. And then so it all depends. It all depends on who you listen to. It all depends on who you listen to and who you believe, or who you like. For me, if I hear something from Jonathan Coachman or Vince Rusev, it goes in one ear and not the other. And by the time that happens, you might get like 10 rolling my eyes and stuff, because I can't deal with that. I can't. I won't. But I'm gonna end the show with that. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share. Make sure y'all watch wrestling. Make sure y'all watch New Breed. Friday and Saturday is wrestling for me. I see y'all Monday. This is the High Gun. God bless. Love y'all. I'm out. Be safe, y'all.